As the leader of the Booner Pack, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the f*** up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juice pumping, boys.
Welcome to the Crunch Time Sports Show with Jeff Iafrate and Booner. We are back. We were live. Boone, we're sitting around waiting all day for something to happen. Things happened, by the way. We'll talk about them, but more just happened as of like a couple of minutes ago. Lions are re-signing Rocky Sin. They are signing Teddy Bridgewater. We'll talk about all that. Isiah Pacheco, Malcolm Rodriguez coming back. Who departed today? Who's still out there? Who can the Lions grab? It's our free agency frenzy this week, and we are back on a Tuesday night. How you doing, Boone? We were just talking before. I mean, we're sitting around waiting all day for things to happen, and
yeah,
happening right now.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? It's this. I would say. Can you hear me? By the way, something popped up on my screen. Said something about muted. I told you. I mean, for people like who, I mean, we're running a business over here. Jeff's live all day long. I'm scrolling my phone through, refreshing for, waiting for something to come out so we can be the first ones out to put it out in social media. Jeff gets off at 5. I get home. I get 20 minutes real quick. All right. What is it? Meditation? Is that what it's called? I meditate, eat dinner. The 20 minutes that I took away from the screen today, they announced Rocky Sin and Teddy Bridgewater, which in my opinion, I think those are two big. I know backup quarterback, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's not the craziest, but getting a guy like that back in the building, I think it's a big time thing. And I think your best corner last year, which is crazy to say, is coming back, which I think is a huge relief that you're getting guys back here, which is what they needed, man. They really did.
Yeah, I think people needed to see something happen with like some of these guys. I think Rocky Sin being probably one of the guys I talked about earlier. A lot of fans wanting back, and it's reported he's coming back on a pay raise, $4 million for a 1 year.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for Rock, man. He earned it. That guy. I mean, for what?
Can I be honest with you?
AJ Brown, well deserved.
I think he should have went out and got a 2 or 3 year deal at that price, like 2 years, $8 million, 8.5. Like, I think Rock had a heck of a year last year to where he's been like a journeyman for a while, fighting for, you know what I mean, fighting to kind of get a spot, or just jumping around. I would say at that, but like, dude, I thought after his last year, I swear I thought he was going to go get like 2 years, $9 million. You know,
he made an extra $3 million. I think it says here he signed to a vet minimum. Last year was 1.17. So yeah, I mean, I'm surprised he got a couple million more. So he got a raise, but he's about 29. So you're probably right. Like maybe the market just wasn't. Maybe it just wasn't out there as as much as maybe he anticipated. He just and the Lions were like, hey, we'll give you $4 million. Maybe he did have those options, but maybe it was for like less money. Maybe. I don't know, but I think he likes the Lions, obviously. So he gets to come back. You said at the beginning of the show, which I think you were spot on about. Last year, no doubt proved to Lions fans in the Lions that like, hey man, I can compete with your starting guys. I mean, he definitely competed. I mean, he came in and looked like their best corner, which is crazy because to your point, he's been a journeyman, and he showed last year. I could step up in a pinch, play outside, and hold my own against AJ Brown. So it's good news, man. I will say I know people are talking about the Tariq Woolen news. Don't worry, we'll get to it. Tariq Woolen, we still have Teddy Bridgewater. He also re-signed, which I was talking about backups today, and I mentioned like Jimmy Garoppolo. I know I threw out there Teddy Bridgewater like 2 days ago, but I just didn't think – I wasn't sure if Teddy was going to keep playing. I wasn't really sure.
Do you think – so I was looking for a price on the deal. Did you see one?
I haven't seen anything yet.
Because Spenny actually texted us.
I bet it's dirt cheap.
And he said $8 million.
There's no way.
And when he sent that, I instantly I started searching like, where's the price? I can't find the price, and I couldn't find it. So I didn't know if Spenny was trolling us or if it was like he was actually getting $8 million, because that's for a backup, dude. Like, you got to think Kyle Allen just signed 2 for $4. My guess is Teddy's getting the vet minimum. Is my guess.
Yeah,
and you know what?
Definitely.
You know what this opens it up the door for, in my opinion? Like, I don't think a lot of people were like, well, you can let Kyle Allen walk, draft the quarterback, you're good to go. No, that like think about when Hendon Hooker came. What did they get him? The third or fourth round? And they brought Teddy Bridgewater in until Hendon was ready to go. You remember that? Like, that's where I thought the Lions were going to go this year, to where I was, all right, they still have to get a vet backup. And then you draft a guy, whether that's, Cole Payton or something, let them go in there, learn the system for a year or two, and roll with the Teddy as QB2. And I would say this, my first thought with the Teddy thing, it's you know me, Jeff, with quarterback too. I had the same thing with what's his name? I think it was David Blau we used to argue about. I think it's really important for your starting quarterback to have someone that's backing him up that is really familiar with that quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, I think with David Blau, I always talked about how David Blau, like, people think backups just sit around all week. They actually get scouts and different things ready for the quarterback, and they help out read coverages and different things. I think having a guy like Teddy in the building is like very, very helpful for Jared Goff. And I think when you do bring in your backup quarterback, you have conversations with Jared, like, hey, who are you comfortable with? And I think this is a guy that they're just very, very comfortable with.
You need it's in the big one, and this is what I know teams look at. Is this guy a threat to our starting quarterback? Like, Teddy knows what he is. He's a backup quarterback. He's not going to threaten Jared Goff in any way. There's not going to be any animosity between the two. He's all Teddy is, and what he'll do is get, like you said, Jared ready. That's what he does. That's what backups do. The clipboard holder, watch film with Jared. The players love him. JMO, I think it's JMO who's spoken highly about him. When Hendon was here, talked about how great he is. So there's a lot of players on the team that love this man. So this is like a good locker room move for them. And if you need him to play in a pinch, he's seen a lot of football, so I don't mind it. I like it, man. Teddy two gloves.
I'm looking at a video.
Sanders game when they lost because Jared got knocked out.
Teddy two gloves, also Teddy number 50. Remember when he was rocking? I just saw a video here. I was getting a video for our Instagram post, and there was a video of him walking out of the tunnel wearing number 50, man. And that's when you can rock 50 as a quarterback, that's the kids say it these days, that's ultimate aura. That's what you call, like, hey, this guy, if you could rock 50 as a quarterback, you've got it. Like, I want you on my team.
That's not an easy number to rock. Like,
especially at the quarterback position.
You can't come out with the number 50 and not, like, to make that thing look cool. It takes fucking grit, and he does it. So shout out to him. Before we get to actually, you know what? We might as well just get through this first, and then we'll get to it. Malcolm Rodriguez came back to the team as well.
Come on, man.
Malcolm Rodrigo, the man that people love. They finally get some depth in that linebacker room, dude. I mean, we're talking about it yesterday. It's like, dude, who's playing linebacker for this team? They get Rodrigo back today. For those who missed it, 1-year deal for Rodrigo. He's 26, 27 years old. And I think, and you'll see this common theme as we talk about these guys. Lions are trying to get younger in some areas. They are. There's no question. I mean, Rodrigo's younger than Anzalone. They still need another linebacker, but you see the trend here. 26 years old. We'll get to Pacheco. He's 27 years old. All these guys. Larry Borum, he's 26 years old. Mays, 26 years old. Like, they're getting younger in some of these other positions, and it's kind of been a common theme. But Rodrigo's coming back. He's good special team, a good depth, and if you need him to play, he knows the system. You know what he's about. So I don't hate this. Probably cost him a couple $1 million, dude. That's all he costing. He ain't costing nothing. Probably $2 million. That's probably what he costs.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a prove it. It's one of those, like, it's another contract year for Malcolm Rodriguez because he came off the injury this last year. This was supposed to be his contract year. And what they did last offseason was they brought, I'm drawing a blank, Grant Stewart in to kind of be that replacement because they didn't know when Rodrigo was going to be back. And when he came back, he played special teams. He just didn't get a lot of snaps defensively. So I think, I'm guessing Grant Stewart's probably, I don't know if he's going to return. I don't know the deal on Grant Stewart. My guess is he's a free agent so that you walk from him and you go with Rodrigo. And I think it's a prove it year for Rodrigo. And I think that's a young guy like him, Jeff, who has started for you. He started, like, he was a legit linebacker starter for you. Remember when they first drafted Jack, and he was good. Like it wasn't like he was a scrub. Like he was giving you solid snaps. And like even in the NFC Championship game, he had the interception in that game. So he can make plays. And I think they have a young guy like that, probably a cheap deal, like you said. I'm interested in the Rodrigo contract because you said vet or a minimum. I think my guess, I would bet maybe like 3 or 4 million. Like I think they would give him a little bit of a deal since it's kind of his second deal, but it's a prove it and they know what he is. That's just my guess, if I'm being honest. That's all. But I love the fact they're bringing him back. I really do.
Yeah, he's good depth at that position. And so he's back as well. But yeah, continue what we were gonna say.
Yeah, you talked about like getting younger. I tweeted this out today, and it was funny. And I know we're going to talk about the running back here in just a minute. I won't spoil it. But I tweeted out, Jeff, like I first put a tweet out and said the Lions have lost bang, 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 bang. Like it was like 7 or 8 players that they've let just walk away or traded this year, right? Like it wasn't like it was like a Grant Stewart or this player or this player. There was, in my opinion, I wouldn't sit here and be like, I saw the tweet the doc sent this like a core piece or a significant player, but like these are really good role players for you that are walking, right? Like these are role players that make impacts on your football team. And I tweeted it out and I go, and on top of that, they haven't re-signed one of their players. And today, obviously, they re-signed 2. And then my next tweet, as I start to think about it, Juicy J, this is what I'm excited to talk to you about because this was just going through my head today. The fact that they're letting a lot of these guys walk, and it's like these aren't minimum deals. Like they're not letting like Davenport's probably going to walk, but like letting him walk's what, Jeff? 2 million. It's not like you're letting 7 million walk. You're letting Ansel walk, which is 8.5 million. Taylor Decker, which is what, 20 million. So that's 28 million. David Montgomery, another 8 million. And I'm not talking about what you're saving, but I'm saying what their contracts were going to be if you kept them. That's like almost up in the 30 million. And I could keep going down the line of Graham Glasgow, like another 8 million. Like I could just keep going down the line. Like these aren't small deals that they're just being like, we got to get rid of them. We're not bringing them back. Amik Robertson, another 10. So they probably let walk like 50 million, Jeff. Like if you really add it up by year, it just made me like, it hit me. I'm like, I think Brad Holmes is planning on doing something big. And I know people think that's like, Booner, you're convincing yourself, but it's all offseason. What have I been doing? Like when we're at the combine, he's saying, I've just been connecting the dots on things, and they end up being like, yep, that ends up happening. The David Montgomery thing, connect the lines, boom, happens. And it's like, just connect the dots, dude. They've re-signed Rocky Sin probably at 4 million. They brought in an offensive tackle that's like a $2 million deal, or it's going to be like a $2 million deal. Rodrigo is going to be like a $2 or $3 million deal. They walked away from like $50 million, Jeff. And they've only brought in guys for like 10 million. Isiah Pacheco is not going to be more than 4. So where's all this money going to go? They have something cooking, in my opinion. I think Brad does, because there's a lot of money. Jameer, but that's down the line, though. That's not right now. But that's not right now, though. That's not.
No, I'm with you.
You see what I'm saying? Like, where's this 50 mil?
Like, because it looks that way. I'm with you. How, like, okay, what does he have like cooking here? My worry, and I talked about this with Klotz, is we've heard Brad in the past be like, everyone looks at splash as these sexy signings. Re-signing your own is a splash too, you know. So if he's thinking to himself like, hey, if I got to get $20 million for Jack and $20 million for Jameer, I'm freeing up. I'm going to make sure we shed some of this cash. Make sure these guys are locked up, because they locked up. They usually lock up guys in like year 3. After year 3, Jack and Jameer, right at that point.
But they're going to lock him up. But I think the issue, though, that what I'm trying to put on the table here is, okay, there's 2 things to it. Number one, when you lock these guys up, their cap hits most likely aren't going to affect this next year. They're going to be on their current deals the next 2 years. Exactly. But then take a step forward. You just open up this 50 million, right? So or 40 to 50 million. Not opened it up, but you walked away and, like, you know, you didn't want to pay these guys that much because you want to get cheaper.
Yeah. But
Jeff, you have that money now, right? At the same time, you could also be like, we don't need to restructure all 3 of these contracts with Panay, Jared, and Amon-Ra. We could still just do Jared, and now we have $100 million to do or to use. Do you see what I'm saying? Like that's where I'm like, Brad's not using any of this money that he's walking away from. He's letting these guys walk, and people are like, well, they're getting cheaper and younger. Dude, they're paying guys $2 million compared to 15 and 10 million. This isn't like a way cheap. This is we're trying to save money up for something. Like we are built.
To be fair, this is also the same GM Booner that let $20 million just carry over to the next season.
I'll give you credit. I don't know what it is. But I don't know. I got a sense from Brad.
I hope so.
We've heard a million Brad press conferences, right? We were in Indy for his last press conference when he talked about it. Or Dan. It was really Dan. I got a feeling from Dan Campbell, because I'm going to tell you quite frankly, I think Dan Campbell, and you know what it is, Jeff. You know who's a great head coach in this league. Dan Campbell, with the right roster, is one of the best in the league as a head coach. We know that. We saw him take them to an NFC Championship game with basically a 1-year turnaround or 2-year turnaround. I know those two guys are probably in lockstep, and they are very, very close, and they work together very well. But you can't tell me Dan Campbell sometimes will look at this roster and will be like, hey, man, we just went 9-8. And, hey, Brad, you're giving me no depth. You're giving me, you're not going all in. You're not making the big move. And do you remember at the press conference what Dan said? Dan was like, oh, trust me. He essentially was like, trust me. We're having those conversations about big moves. That's being said. And he said, obviously, you're looking at each piece of it, whether it's the money, the years, what you're giving up, all of that. I just got a sense from Dan. Again, this isn't anything that he said. I just got a feeling when he said that, we're standing right there. My gut feeling, Jeff, was like, Dan wants a move. Dan wants Brad to make a move. And I would think, as close as they are, Dan would, if he wanted that. It's the second time since they've missed the playoffs in the last 3 months that he has stood on a podium and says, we've talked about big moves. We've talked about it. It's been considered. It's the second time. He's done 2 press conferences. Both of them, it's got brought up. And he has said, yep, we've talked about it.
You know what Dan needs to go over to Brad and say? Hey, listen, we should be blowing up Trey Hendrickson's agent's phone and just being like, hey, man, if you don't get what you want, call me.
Call us.
We'll work something out. You come over here for a 1-year deal, maybe a short-term deal, go prove it and get paid somewhere. Just suggesting it, just throwing it out there. Come over here for a year. If you don't get what you want, you can always come play with Aiden, get a bunch of one-on-ones, and get a bunch of sacks. There's guys that are kind of falling off the side of the, falling off between the sides here. I don't know if that's even a saying, but in free agency, it's kind of frustrating. Leo Chenal just signed, good linebacker, about $8 million a year.
He was more like a Derek Barnes position though, right? Like
he can cover. He can cover better than Derek Barnes, but regardless, the linebacker position, it seems like the going rate to me is about $8 million for some of these starters. Which would
Kay Nellis just got picked up, by the way.
What he signed?
3 for 33.
So 11
a year, which that was out of your range either way.
Yeah, you weren't
going to pay Anzo 8.5.
It's about $8 million if you're paying some of these linebackers. It really is.
I'm interested. I am interested to see where Brad's mind goes with that other linebacker spot and what they think. I wonder if they're comfortable with Derek Rodrigo. Trevor Nowaski's probably going to end up signing a deal. And then I wonder if they're going to draft a linebacker. I don't know. Jacob Rodriguez, Kyle Lewis, Anthony Hill. I think I do think that some GMs look at this linebacker draft class to where in the 2nd and 3rd round, you're going to be able to get a starting caliber.
Anthony Hill or Kyle Lewis, dude, those two.
Or even if Jacob Rodriguez is there, I think they pull a trigger on him. I do.
Yeah, but that's also it's a tough way to think, and this is why I defend Brad Holmes. It's tough to go into a draft and be like, hey, we got 5 needs. Let's go knock these out of the park. That's tough, man. It's not as bad when you got 1 need or maybe 1 or 2 things, and you're like, all right, we got 7 draft picks. I'm sure we'll address those 2 at some point. The Lions are going into this draft at least with hey, we got 5 needs, and we have 2 picks in the top 118.
Yeah.
So it's what do we prioritize? Are we taking it out? We need a tackle, right? We can't have Larry Borum. No offense to him starting at tackle. So we need a tackle. Oh, yeah, we don't have anybody at edge. So we need an edge. Oh, yeah. And then we don't pick till 118 where Rodriguez, Lewis, and Anthony Hill will all be gone. So it's like, well, who are we taking at linebacker? You know? Oh,
that's
yeah,
why I have a thought process about that with the money, though, is I think that
for sure,
free agency is not
something.
It's what's the word? Like, it's not all drained out. Like, there are still players. There are still a lot of good players in this free agency class that are not signed. I think Brad is. I know it's kind of slowly leaking in where we're getting, a running back here, a backup tackle, a center, this, that. I think, like, give it a couple days, especially until, like, the end of tomorrow. And I think they're going to fill this thing out. It could happen next week, too.
I hope it's at edge. They haven't even signed an edge.
They just have Hutch and Ahmed Hassanin. That's it.
Shout out to Ahmed. Shout out to his pops. We love Corey, his brother. We love the fam. But they ain't going into the season with Ahmed and Aiden. They got something, maybe.
They need 3 or 4 edges. Maybe they're looking at Josh and Levi as one of those pieces. But still, that's disappointing.
Yeah, no, for sure. That'd be crazy. All right, we'll get to the Pacheco stuff, and then we'll get to some of the guys that left elsewhere, and I'll get your thoughts on that. But today, right before I went live today, around noonish. Oh, this is Leo Chenal. Sorry.
He's pumped up for Leo Chenal.
I am pumped up about Leo Chenal. Sorry. The Pacheco news. Let me pull that up. It's right here. The Lions did make a move today. All right. People were looking for a replacement for David Montgomery. And, I'm going to be honest, Boone. I know you were checking social media. You run on social media, but a lot of mixed opinions on this one. It felt like people were saying Sonic and different names for him. But they signed Isiah Pacheco to a 1-year deal. 1-year deal for Isiah Pacheco. I think he posted on his story already, hyped up to join Jahmyr Gibbs.
0-10, baby.
He's a champion. He's a angry runner. Sonic and Fuckles. But he's an angry runner. And we saw, I remember having this argument with Lukas Klotz before about Isiah Pacheco. I think we was on the show where I was talking to Isiah Pacheco and Klotz was giving me shit, but this was like a couple years ago. But watching him run is one of the most entertaining things ever. I mean, he runs his ass off and he fights for yards. And I could see why they would like this type of player next to Jahmyr Gibbs. I could see it for a 1-year deal. The only issue is, and this is my big gripe with it, and it's maybe cause for concern, is you just have to hope that you get first 2 years Isiah Pacheco rather than the last 2 years. That's it. And that's why he's signing a 1-year deal. That's probably why I don't know the money. Have you seen the money? The price? I haven't seen it.
No, I don't think it's released yet. I think that is a really big. I don't think it's going to be that much, but I do think that that's going to be a big piece figuring out how much that price is. Because I think you got to compare it to other RB2s that are getting signed. The Rico Dowdle 2 year, $12 million. Like you have to look. 6, some of these guys. Yeah. I'll say this too with the Isiah Pacheco stuff. Obviously, you did the show earlier, so I got to hear a little bit on your thoughts. I thought that you actually kind of liked it. Is that the case? Like, I felt like you got the vibe.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. I don't mind it at all.
We're in a group chat. Obviously, we have our Crunch Time group chat, and I was going back and forth with Caleb about it. Caleb instantly just texted in there. It was like, this guy sucks. He's the worst. Like, why did we just sign him? And I'm like, all right. Like, I think some fans, I get it. They're passionate, and their first thought when they don't like a guy is like, this guy's going to be terrible. Why would they do this? My first thought was this, Jeff. They don't want to go back to what, and everyone's like, he's the David Montgomery replacement. I think what we saw last year with David Montgomery is a sign to show what's to come forward for this running back room, to where David Montgomery, me and you brought it up a million times. He was getting single-digit touches in most games last year. And the year before, he was getting 15-plus touches. And I think that there was obviously a kind of change of the tide to where they now want to roll with Jahmyr Gibbs as the guy that's going to get 20 touches a game. And they're comfortable with that, whether you like it or not. Whether, like, Jeff, I know you said you're a little worried about the yards per carry. Like, I think that's
no, not yards per carry. The injuries.
No, I'm talking about with Jahmyr on that one. Because I'm saying that they're moving towards now an offense where it's 80% Jahmyr Gibbs moving forward. And I know you were a little worried on that. I think that's the offensive line, but I think that's where Lions fans, instead of being like Isiah Pacheco can't be D-Mont, like, you have to change, in my opinion, your mindset on the expectations of the RB2 spot going forward. David Montgomery here, he wanted 50% of the touches out of the running back room. He did. And 2 years ago, he was getting that. And he was getting 40%, and it was slowly decreasing. And that's why D-Mont asked to leave. He said, hey, I want another opportunity. I'm getting less and less touches, which I think all of us with Jahmyr Gibbs could agree that's fair. So I think everyone instantly just thought and got mad, being like, Isiah Pacheco is never going to replace D-Mont, never going to be. Guys, he's not doing that. Isiah Pacheco is not coming in to get 50 or 40% of the touches on this team. He's coming in to get maybe 20, 25% of the touches in the running back room. You now have a Saquon Barkley type to where Saquon's backup only gets 20% of the touches. That's what you have. And Isiah Pacheco, before his injury, Jeff, I think you agree with this, he was RB1 in Kansas City, and he was a damn good back for Kansas City before he got hurt after that second season. So I think when you look at it in that sense, it's like, hey, you do have a guy with a lot of upside. I even told Caleb, I talked to them on the phone with Caleb, and I said, and I'll ask you this, Jeff, who's a better running back? Even if you want to say today or back in 2023, whatever it is, who's a better running back? Jamal Williams or Isiah Pacheco?
Oh, I would go Isiah Pacheco, yeah.
Thank you.
That's
and Jamal Williams ran for over 1,000 yards in this offense and had 18 touchdowns. And that's Isiah, or that's Jamal Williams. But with Isiah Pacheco, you're not asking him to do that. He's a better back than Jamal, and you're asking him to just do 20% of the production.
Yeah,
right.
That was also with the Primo line, but I'll let
I'll give credit to that 100%. But you're expecting them to get back to that this year, or get close to that this year on the offensive line. Like, that's the expectation on rebuilding the O-line. So, in my opinion, it's like, dude, Isiah, you should like this. This is like, he's kind of a situational back for you now. And you're not going out there and having a rookie that's going to have to rely on right away. Like, the greatest example I think I can give, if everyone wanted to draft a rookie, like, it's easy to Jeff to be like Kyle Monunga of the Chicago Bears. It's so easy to throw that out there, right? That happens once every other year. Let me give you another example. 3rd round pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They were looking to replace Najee Harris. Who did they draft? Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. Jeff, who was one of my favorite running backs out of that draft that year? Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. What happened to Caleb Johnson his rookie year? Was not ready. He just was not ready. And he has all the talent in the world. Just wasn't ready. So if you get into one of those positions, you draft the Katron Allen. You draft one of these guys that put up the numbers that Caleb Johnson at Iowa did. What happens if he's not ready, and now you're just with Jahmyr Gibbs and Craig, or not even Craig Reynolds, and Sione Vaki? You're in a spot, man. So I like the Isiah Pacheco move. He's an angry runner, and that's what they need. They just need a bully ball guy to kind of offset Jahmyr Gibbs. So I'm excited for it. I'm pumped up for it.
I agree with everything you said. I don't think I'm not going to sit here and poo-poo it like the guy can't play football. My only concern, and I talked about it, is the injuries. The other thing I'd bring up is I want to let everything, like you said, I think what you said, I agree with the most early, when you were talking about the contract number. I just want to see what they ended up giving him. I doubt it's going to be anything, but I just want to cross compare that to like what Brian Robinson Jr. will get with the 49ers. I think that's probably the closest comparison, because we saw, what did Tyler Algier get? Do you remember? I actually have to look that up.
This year?
Yeah, because he signed. I don't know what he got, though.
I didn't see. Where did he sign?
Arizona Cardinals, 2 for 12. So he got 6. He got 6. I just want to see. I just want to see what he gets, because as much as I like Pacheco and what I saw out of him his first years in Kansas City, I think there were options like a Algier or a Brian Robinson that are healthier. And if it's around the same price, I would be like, okay, I'm curious to see why we decided to go this route, to be honest with you. But
can I counterpoint like devil's advocate? And I think people need to realize this as well. It's not always up to, like, Brad can't be like, I want this guy who's coming here. You're locked in. You have to come here. I think Tyler Algier, I think Brian Robinson, who else was at the side for $6 million? Rico Dowdle.
Yeah, again, Rico, I think
the thing, it's like,
that one.
It's a dream. It's a dream for all of us to get an RB2 like one of those guys. Let's realistically talk about it. Jeff, you're Rico Dowdle, or no, call me. You're try and convince me to sign with you. You're Brad Holmes.
Rico, I get because he's the lead.
Even Tyler, give me a call. Call me. Try and convince me. Hello, hey, is this Brad?
How's it going? How's it going, Tyler?
Good. How are you, Brad?
I'm doing
You're with the
good.
Lions, right?
Yeah.
Let me just tell you something here. All right, so I know you're a free agent. We're looking to replace David Montgomery. You saw the attention David got out of our backfield. I think you'd be a good fit. You played with Bijan Robinson. You're not scared of sharing a backfield. Come share one with Jameer. Come share one with this run offense, this rushing attack, this offensive line. Okay.
Hey, Brad, I want to say something. It sounds really good. Can I? My agent wanted me to ask you this. Just really, it's a crazy thought, but he told me some reason David Montgomery asked out because he wasn't getting carries. Is that going to be an issue with me? Am I going to get a split backfield? I just had to split 50% of the carries or 70% of the carries with Bijan Robinson. I would like to go get an opportunity somewhere. Do you think I can have an opportunity here in Detroit to, get 50, 60, 40, even just 40% of the carries? Is that possible?
If you'd rather go compete with James Conner, feel free.
Can you guarantee me 40% of the carries?
Okay, now we're losing.
But that's a conversation that I think a lot of these agents and players, like especially Tyler Algier, is sitting there going like, "Hey, I just split the backfield with Bijan." He probably thinks he can take carries from James Conner, who's hurt every other week, and who's coming off an injury as well at that, like an ACL, I believe, or something. So, dude, you're sitting there and you're going, why would Tyler? I know Tyler Algier, but why would Tyler Algier realistically be like, yeah, I'll come take 20% of the carries from Jameer? Heck yeah, dude. Like, I got 150 carries in Atlanta. I'll go down to 115 just to go play for the Lions. No, on a 1-year deal. No, dude, he's going to go somewhere for a 2-year deal and get 150 carries to 200 carries a year. Am I the only one that understands that? Because like Klotz today, felt like he couldn't comprehend that.
I think the only one that doesn't work for is Brian Robinson Jr. if he resigns with the 49ers.
But if Brian Robinson though goes somewhere for 2 years, $10 million, then it's like same thing with him.
I've been seeing reports the 49ers want to resign him. If he goes back, I think we have a conversation.
But again, that's even harder to sign it.
50-50 with that man.
No, but he was already in San Fran, so he's familiar. So he's signing with San Fran over the Lions.
Yeah, but there's games where he had DNPs. I mean, he didn't even play some games.
I'm just saying, I think you have to take a look and be like, hey, realistic options. Sometimes as fans, I had Brian Robinson Jr. on my top 5 free agent once. Maybe I was an idiot.
Called him, I respect it. I just want to know if they called him. That's all.
It's realistic, man. Like, we can't expect them to be able to go out there and get the best running backs in free agency and be like, Rico Dowdle had back-to-back 1,000-yard. He's like the second best running back in free agency, and Klotz is being like, why didn't you go after Rico Dowdle 2 for 12? Like, dude, what are you talking about?
In my opinion, and this is where I agree with this comment, like, if he's getting 20% of the carries, why is he on a 1-year deal?
He probably had nothing else. This was probably his best option. And he probably saw what D-Mont did and said, okay, maybe I can get an opportunity here. But he wasn't good. But he wasn't the Isiah Pacheco of the last 2 years to where he can go out there and put his foot down for a deal. Like, that wasn't him. I'm so interested in this deal, man.
Brad told Isiah Pacheco, like, hey, you come over here, man. You showed what you're worth, and then you can
listen. I'm saying 20%. I don't really truly mean 20%. I wouldn't be shocked if Isiah gets 8 to 10 carries a game. Like, I wouldn't be. But you go somewhere else, you have a chance to beat out a James Conner and get 15 carries a game
in a way worse offense.
But you get the carries.
Like with freaking Booner blocking.
I know, but like you get the carries. I think that means something for some of these guys. I think it's hard to convince someone to come in and be the second fiddle essentially to a star.
Yeah, I think there's truth to that. I think there is truth to that. I do think there's truth to that.
And I think it's unrealistic to get mad about it and be like Klotz. I love him and he's probably listening. Shout out Klotz. But like bringing up the Rico Dowdle thing to me, that's irresponsible. Dude, he was the second best running back in this free agency class. You think you can get the second best running back as your RB2? And in Klotz's point, he wants Jameer to get more touches. And you're going to tell me that he would be like, yeah, I could get the second best running back in this class. Dude, like, you're just mad. You just want to be mad about something.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I think Klotz is definitely on the there's a lot of fans that are in that bucket. I'm not there. I like Isiah. That's my only gripe is Brian Robinson Jr. I'm interested to see what happens there because I had him as a guy I'd rather have. And then the other thing is the injuries. I think if he stays healthy, they're fine. Did you see that I saw people tweeting out post like his fracturing his fibula. He kind of struggled, but also the Chiefs situation. They didn't have offensive line help. A lot of those running backs struggled. So like I understand the context of it all, but this year will be big for him too. It's like, okay, with those 8 to 10 carries, can you give me 4.5 a carry? Can you give me 4.5 a carry? That's what you gave the
How
Chiefs
sick would that be if you did?
That'd be ideal there.
Even just 4. I think if you're just asking for 4, I think that's good.
Yeah. Don't be the 3.6 or whatever you were in the 3.8 you were the last 2 years. And you'll be fine. All right. So I did see this as well before we kind of talk about some of the free agents. What? Did you see something?
It says Diana Rossini just tweeted out and said free agent pass rusher Trey Hendrickson expected to make a formal decision tomorrow, per sources. Several teams continue to monitor the market and remain interested. He has offers on the table. Do you think, I'm just going to say it, do you think Brad has an offer on the table right now for Trey Hendrickson?
I don't know.
Do you think he just threw one out there like 25?
I really hope so. I hope something. It doesn't hurt to throw an offer out there.
Just throw like Ryan in the chat. Just throw out a 1-year 20. Just say, hey, come on the Super Bowl with us. Why not? I think the Lions are one of the teams with an offer. And I know I sound crazy. They haven't signed anyone over really $5 million, and they've gotten rid of all these guys that were getting $10 million. It like adds up to me that the reason they haven't signed someone yet is because maybe they're in sweepstakes for
because you restructure Goff or Amon-Ra or Panay, you could free up 30-40 mil. And then like that. So it's like you got some money on the table. If you want to give them like a 1 year, maybe like a 2 for 40 or like a 1 for 25 or something, like you're like, hey, if you don't have the money, come here, make some money. I really hope so, man. I know we talk about the other options like in free agency and stuff, but some of these guys that we talk about that would be good additions are falling off the table. I know today Tariq Woolen signed with the Eagles. It was $15 million though. You ain't paying that. You ain't paying that for Tariq Woolen. I don't care.
You just paid a corner last year 18 or 17.
Yeah, I'm not paying that man 15. I'm just not. But yeah, I would love if Trey Hendrickson came here. I think that would be like the ultimate. I think a lot of fans would just gain a lot of respect. A lot of respect.
I will say I'm going to have a graphic ready for tomorrow just to be safe.
I'll
have a tweet ready. I preparation's good. I wish the people could see some of the old tweets that I have. Do you want me to read? Let me go sit back if I could see some. You want me to check? Of like, I have sitting in here right now. Breaking news: the Detroit Lions have restructured Jared Goff's contract. Breaking news: the Lions had a formal meeting with Jennings Dunker, which they did not. I have a Kirby Joseph one in there, dude. I have some breaking news: Detroit Lions tackle Penei Sewell has won the Protector of the Year award. He did not win it.
Yeah, it's tough. I think people are, it's a reason to get excited and be optimistic. You're probably going to land Joey Bosa. It's probably what's going to happen.
Probably. Hey, last one in my draft that I have. This might be the funniest one. Breaking news: Michigan has fired athletic director Warren Manuel.
Great one.
And it's just a great one. I never was able to tweet it.
I don't know, man. I hope Brad is. I think I was talking about it earlier. What I would ask Brad Holmes, and I would ask how his philosophy's changed through the years, just having different teams and dealing with different things, because every GM has. You have like different approach depending on the roster you have. Like, I know people hate me bringing it up, but it's the best example I can give. It's like Les Snead in LA. 1 year he had a roster full of veterans. And then this season right now, he has a roster of a lot of younger players along with Matthew. But it's like he's had different rosters. I like it's interesting to see how these guys kind of handle both scenarios. Like Les Snead, when he had all the older guys, Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller, Aaron Donald, He's getting this unit of talent, and on offense, you're collecting guys, going all in, trading for Matthew Stafford. And then now it's like, oh yeah, we have a lot of money to spend. Let's just fix our corner position with a proven Super Bowl caliber corner. Like, I'd like to ask Brad, like, through the years, has it changed? I mean, what happens there from a GM standpoint? Like, is there a point where you're like, my process is not working? Okay. Or at least we haven't achieved what we expected to achieve. Do I gotta change something? Or is Brad, like, I think Lukas mentioned earlier, which I think is the case, he is just stubborn enough to believe that this is the way we're going to do it. If we win, it's going to be this way. This is how we're going to win. And I think that is probably more likely the case. It's just, this is how we're going to win, and we're going to do it my way.
I would like, listen, I do like the fact that I think the first step to having like a contending team is having like Les Snead has built an incredible roster there, right? Before he's made these moves to get who he has, the two corners that he brought in to go get Devontae Adams. Like, he's already built an incredible team. Howie Roseman, same thing. Before he's bringing in, the Tariq Woolen and all these different players, like, he's already built an incredible roster. The thing is you get to a point to where you have to make those types of moves, in my opinion. And that's what I think people are just waiting for this Brad thing to kind of get that going. You know what I mean? Like, once you see it. And I think the thing that Brad has the issue with is he's scared to make those moves that they're going to backfire, or he's not going to have the money, or he's not going to have this. I think it's one of those things where you just make those moves. You saw Les Snead do it this offseason already, and you're kind of seeing the Eagles do it. The Eagles have let a lot of guys walk, but they still make those moves, right? You make that move, and then you figure it out after. Right. You figure, like, I know it's like, well, you have to plan. Yeah. You plan so you make sure you're good for the next year. And then it's like the same thing with like how the Rams had to let Jalen Phillips walk. Like, you make that trade, you don't win a Super Bowl, you'll let him walk. Like, you just don't re-sign him. And I just think that's the thing with Brad. It's like, hey, you have to be able to make these big moves, the Trey Hendricksons, these different moves. But then also you have to be comfortable enough with, hey, whether it works or not, if you don't win a Super Bowl next year, hey, you're probably gonna have to let Aleem McNeil walk after next season, because you have the opt-out opportunity to take the low dead cap and you can move on. Like, you're gonna have to take a loss on some guys. And I think to do that, that's what you have to do to be able to win a Super Bowl, is you make those big moves and then you take the losses on those guys. I think Brad's scared to do it. Like, in my opinion, if you go all in this year, you get Trey Hendrickson, you get a good linebacker, and then, you let the draft, you really don't have that many holes anymore, and then you let the draft fall the way it does, and you go all in to try and win a Super Bowl next year. All right, and then next year we'll figure it out. Like, if we need to open up money, we got to trade someone, we got to release someone. All right, then so be it. And then we keep rolling from there. Then we find a replacement. If you have to trade Jamo's contract, all right, cool. We'll figure that out. We'll get another wide receiver. Like, I just think you'll never win a Super Bowl if you're not willing to take a little bit of risk. Brad's taking no risk. There's no risk. Zero. Nada. 0.0.
He's scared of risk. I think that's okay. Sometimes it's like, hey, I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to take one of these big time. I'm not saying you got to be reckless and be an idiot, but to your point, like, every GM, there comes a time where you have to take some sort of risk. Yeah. I mean, you have to take some risks. And if you asked him, he would say, well, I draft guys, I trade up to draft guys, I take risks in the draft. It's like, outside of the draft, Brad, outside of the draft. We're not talking about the draft all the time. We're talking about free agency. We're talking about trade deadlines. Your biggest acquisition at the deadline was Za'Darius Smith, that was after Hutch basically died. I mean, it took Hutch breaking his leg to do it. So, that's the risk people are looking for. And I think you're right. I think McNeil, we'll see what happens, after that whole thing shakes up this next year. But I don't know. I hope Trey Hendrickson would definitely be like the most outside of his character move. I mean, it would be so far outside of what he usually does. Which maybe that comes with more time as a GM. You start to learn things, and then you start to think about, hey, we're going to do this or do that.
I would be shocked. I mean, I'd be happy. I think I would forgive everything I've said about Brad Holmes. But
at some point that has to happen, right? Like you can't just keep moving with paying your guys, because eventually, what if your guys aren't good enough to win? You have to find, you know what I mean? Like you have to figure it out, and you have to be able to adjust and make those moves. And as of right now, they're not. They just went 9-8, and you could blame the injuries all you want. But if I'm Brad Holmes and we're in year 2 of injuries, okay, I'm going to go get a guy that in free agency or trade for a guy that's played, back-to-back 17-game seasons. Like I'm tired of Marcus Davenport, who's not playing 7. I'm going to go get a Cam Jordan who's played in 17 games for almost every single year of his career. Like I'm going to do that, And I think that's where Brad's like, hey, it's time to pivot, man. It's okay to, hey, it didn't work out this way. Let's figure it out this way.
Matt's appreciate the $5, Matt. He says Brad is for sure not interested in taking risks. He plays not to lose, and we all know what happens when teams play that way.
You lose.
Well, yeah, you become like the Steelers, where you're just like in the playoffs and then you lose, and then you're just floating around mid. You're just floating around mid forever. That's really what happens. Like look at the Seahawks. Like John Schneider, that guy's a great drafter. He went and acquired both his pass rushers through trade and in free agency. Like it's not like the guy can't draft. He drafted Boye Mafe, but he went and got more guys outside that are the pretty good players. Brad got DJ Reed, okay, and DJ Reed, haven't really got to see him live up to it, but he did get AQM, but he hasn't really paid. I mean, he played well in a year in which your defense was bad, so I don't really know how to make of it. I'm talking about impactful players that are big reasons. Like Anzalone, to be honest, you signed him. That was a good signing. He ended up working. I played years for you. Who's another one? Carlton Davis. That trade ended up working out. You didn't get a chance to re-sign him. Demont, another one, great one. Like those, you need more of those. We need more of those impactful signings. Then you got your Marcus Davenports and your, Isaiah Buggs. I'm just naming random ass things. Like,
see, so this is the thing. Like, Honolulu BS said, you guys wanted to take a swing and miss just to go back to 3-14 and have bad contracts. The thing is with that, and this is where I think fans get a little mixed up and maybe a little brainwashed by other fans and some people. Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you take a big swing, right? Like say you sign Trey Hendrickson or you take a massive swing and you don't win a Super Bowl, but you win a couple playoff games, you're not going back to 3-14. You still have your core players.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah,
they're still here, and you still sign them to big deals. All it essentially does is it makes you have to kind of reset with role players. Like, all right, we got to get rid of one. Maybe you get rid of one big contract, and then you find a replacement for that. But you're still drafting every year, and you're still able to flip it quick because you still have your core players. You still have your Amon-Ra's, Aiden Hutchinson, Panay's, Jared's. Like, you still have them. They're not leaving. Jack Campbell.
Is Honolulu BS referencing maybe I'll give you 2 big risks, and you tell me if this ended up working out bad and ruined everything the team worked for? What about the 49ers giving Brandon Ayuk a bunch of money? How did that work out? Well, they still got to a Super Bowl without him. So how about them trading up to get Trey Lance? Traded multiple first-round picks. Didn't work out. He was a bust. What happened there? Guy ended up they made a Super Bowl. So, yeah. Are there going to be misses? Yeah, for sure. You know what happens. I'm not saying the guy's going to hit, but it's not going to derail everything you worked for, dude. All right. It's not going to derail everything that you worked for and make you all of a sudden bad. I think people are just so scared to not that that's going to happen, but just the thought of going back to what the Lions were before. It's not going to, like, dude.
It's not going to happen. I actually do think there's a big fear in this fan base to where if they do take a swing at a major piece, people do think that they're going to go right back to where they were in purgatory for the next 5 years. Again, Brad's elite at what he does at building a roster. It's just about getting over that hump.
Yeah,
and like Schiff said, Les Snead took multiple swings as well. They've almost just went to another Super Bowl. They've won a Super Bowl. They were in a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. They've constantly for the last 10 years have been in the conversations for Super Bowls, and they keep taking swings. But guess what they do when they take a swing and then they move on? Jalen Ramsey, massive swing. Guess what happened? Won a Super Bowl with them. What did they do? Trade him or cut him, whatever it was. You cut ties. You move on. You got what you needed. You moved on.
It's like this. What happened to the Packers just last season? They're derailed. No, they're not. They'll be back. Micah's going to get healthy, and they're going to be fine. I don't know. Like, what do you mean that it's a great trade for them? They got Micah freaking Parsons. I don't know what. Would you rather have 2 first-round picks or a top 3 defensive player in the entire league? Like, I'm taking Micah Parsons every single time. I don't know what kind of victory lap that is. Like, the Packers are going to be fine. They got Micah, and they're going to piece together. Their team wasn't perfect already. It's not like Micah was the final piece. They went and got a legit defensive player, and they did that. It's like, Packers are still – you sure you're going to be much better? The Packers beat you twice. So we can't even talk about the Packers. We can't talk about the Packers, man. They beat that ass twice. So and they lost Romeo Dobbs, yes, but it's like, okay. Romeo Dobbs hit 700 yards. That guy wasn't a world beater. They'll be fine. Acting like they just lost Calvin Johnson or something. They'll be all right. They got Jaden Reed and Christian Watson. Like, what are we doing? Marcus Golden or wait, Marcus Golden? No, that's a linebacker. That's an edge.
Who are you thinking
of? Golden, their receiver.
Matthew.
I said Marcus Golden. Shout out. If you know who Marcus Golden is.
Yeah. For a second, I thought you were talking about Marquise Bolden from the Ravens.
Another one. It's another one.
You really threw me off.
They'll be all right. They'll be good. 1DK says, wait, so now we're okay giving Brad credit for trying. I thought it was all about results. The only thing that continuously happens, Boone, is I made the call, it just didn't work out. That's the one that constantly about.
I think it's actually me and you actually have said this a million times. When you're on record saying it, you can't go back on it. Like, this is what we do for a living, right? We have both said, hey, if Brad Holmes takes a swing on and if Brad Holmes decides, boys, I want to make a big move. I want to do what Les Snead and Howie Roseman have done. And if he does it and it doesn't work out, we have said it. We would be the first ones to be like, I'm happy going down swinging with the sinking ship. I'm good with it. If he went all in and tried to do something like that, and you know what, I will support him if that happens. And you're 9-8 the next year, and then you have to get back to 12 wins. I'm okay with that because guess what he did? The man at least tried. But I think the most disappointing part is like, hey, you've done such a good job at building a roster, Brad. Don't let this roster go to waste. Like, do not. And it's disappointing that you've had such a good roster. And next year, you know what the expectation is next year? No one's talking Super Bowl now, all of a sudden. Like, you're now no longer a Super Bowl favorite within a year. And it's like, you could be like, well, that's because we had to pay our own guys. Well, then maybe that's not the move because the end goal with a good roster is to win a Super Bowl. And if you're not in that conversation, and especially when you're a good team, it's a failure of a year. So maybe paying the guys, all of them, wasn't the right move, and you should have went and taken some swings. That's what I don't want to go in 3 years do that. I don't want in 3 years to be like, man, like we were just too passive aggressive and we just never gave ourselves the right opportunity.
Yeah, you watched your window just sail on by it, man.
You just hope that maybe something would happen. And someone here too, Gumby said, I'm sorry, Jeff.
Go on. No, say it.
I was going to say Trey. He said Trey is worth $29 a year. Have you heard? I've heard a lot today on the Trey stuff. You've been on the air. I can catch you up with what some people are saying if you want, but essentially what's happening with Trey Hendrickson is, and I think I heard this from Shefty or Rosine Rappaport, someone I had heard, they're essentially saying that they saw Trey Hendrickson's camp as seeing other guys get 30, 40 million Jalen Phillips, and they want to get that number. But not a lot of teams right now are willing to be like, yeah, we'll give you 30. And I think that's the situation. I think it was Shefty that said Trey and his camp are trying to figure out what team's worth him, like his worth is. And it might be less. They feel like it might be less than what they actually think. So there's a chance that Trey, and listen, there could be a team that is desperate and comes out of the clouds and pays 35, 40. But from what it sounded like with Trey Hendrickson, there's a chance that he doesn't even get 30 when he picks an offer. There's a chance he's like 25 to 30. And if you're Brad and you threw an offer for 25 and Trey's like, hey, I'll go somewhere to win for 2 years, 50 mil.
Played with Dan Campbell.
Yeah, like I think there's an opportunity there. But the sense that I got from Adam Schefter is that the Trey Hendrickson camp are realizing that his price is lower than what people actually think. And they're not getting the offers that they thought they would. And he said Trey Hendrickson's a guy that's like sticks to his guns, like this is what he wants. So that's why Adam said it's been taking so long for Trey is they're trying to realize and figure out what is the worth. So there's a chance that he doesn't even get to the 30, which I think he will, but fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think the Dan Campbell connection helps. He played under Dan Campbell. They know what he's about. Man,
I forget that so much, dude.
He is from Florida, or I think he lives there. Something I can't remember. So I'm not sure how that changes anything, if at all. But come to Detroit. Come up to Detroit, man. Let's make it happen. Cam Jordan signs too. No, I mean,
dude, imagine they get Cam Jordan and like a Trey Hendrickson.
I mean, it's like what a defensive end room. Just a bunch of dudes who have like you got a Hall of Famer in there, and then you got Trey Hendrickson led the team in sacks. Yeah,
another dream scenario: Joey Bosa and Cam Jordan, both.
You know what that is? That's like one of those dreams where you have like you're dreaming and you wake up like you don't sit through it and enjoy it. Like that
I had
one.
One of those
like,
last night.
It's
For sure,
I had one of those last night.
It's one of those where it's like the greatest dream of all time, and you're like, "Oh, this is the best," and then boom, you're just awake, and you're like,
"Yeah."
You're like, "Oh no, are you serious, man? I was just about like Cam and Joey were just about to sign the papers, and I woke up. Like, come on, dude."
Yeah, dude, just getting guys in there. I'm curious what they do with that defensive end room. I threw out some names in there. I don't mind if they get like a younger guy. There's a guy, Logan Hall from the Buccaneers.
Oh, breaking news. Wow.
What?
It's not Lions related, but this is like massive NFL. I've never seen this happen before in the NFL world. Breaking news, Ari Mayrov. The Baltimore Ravens have backed out of the trade agreement for Maxx Crosby. They will have no further comments. They released this. Backed out of our trade agreement with Matt. Wow.
What?
I think this is real. Ari Mayrov's this is hold on. Let me go search Raven or see if they I think the Raiders backed out. I don't know if this is real. I'm trying to figure out if this is real.
No, I think it is real. I think
the Raiders
real.
didn't tweet it out.
No. Oh, the Raiders put out. Yeah, no, that's Ian Rappaport put it out. The Raiders, the Baltimore Ravens have backed out of our trade agreement for Maxx Crosby. We will. Yeah, the Ravens did.
Wow. And what's crazy, you know what? Something might have happened. I'll tell you what. This is just investigation Boone. Maxx Crosby, I obviously follow him on Instagram. He's posted. He was in Baltimore over the last 24 hours, and he's been posting videos in Baltimore. And he was at a hotel. He took a zoom in video of the Ravens stadium. Like, he's been there. I wonder if he did a physical, something came up, and they said, we're out. We're not doing this. And remember, these trades don't go through until the new league year tomorrow at 4. That's when signings and trades and everything kind of really gets pushed through. So they had it probably until tomorrow to figure it out. And it seems like that's massive news, dude. And you know what's crazy about that is the Ravens probably thought they had all this money to spend on all these free agents. And obviously they still do. But Maxx Crosby's money cuts into a chunk of that.
Well, it says he tore his meniscus in his left knee and played through it. And he had surgery in early January
2026,
and he's expected to be fully recovered for training camp.
Wow.
I don't know what happened. I don't know. Maybe they didn't like what they saw. The doctors didn't like what they saw with the knee. I don't know. That's nuts, dude.
I've never seen that happen in almost any sport.
That is nuts, dude. So he goes back. What? So now they got Kwity Paye and Maxx Crosby, I guess. What if, like what Michael said, what if they get their first round picks back and just go sign Trey?
Maybe they do. That would be, if that happens, I would say this, in my opinion, the only way you back out of an agreement like that is medical. Because if you do it where you like, oh, we can get Trey and we can get our picks back, and like you had a verbal agreement, I feel like that's a scummy move.
And the Ravens are.
I feel like
they're good with.
Feel like that, and I wonder. Ryan just said Linderbaum about that screwed the Ravens. I wonder if the Ravens were kind of like mad about the Linderbaum thing, and they're like, we're not doing this. I think that's a scumbag move. It really is. I don't like that. If it has nothing, if it's medical,
yeah, because the Raiders put this out just straight up. I mean,
if it's medical, I understand. I can see if it's medical. If it's non-medical related and they just got cold feet, scumbag move. If you agree to something, man, you agree to it.
The Raiders still had money, though, correct? I think they still had some money.
They had so much money, dude.
Yeah, I
think right now they're still
money.
I think they have the most money in free agency still after day one of free agency when they spent like 100-something million. So they're probably going to be fine. Honestly, the Raiders, they might be.
The Raiders with Maxx now, like they back. It's like they got Kwity Paye over there,
dude. Not even just with Matt, dude. Did you those linebackers that they signed? Remember? Let me pull up their defense.
Yeah. Nakobe Dean,
Quay Walker, Kwity Paye, Malcolm Kuntz, Eric Stokes, Teron Johnson. They went and cleaned up on defense, man. And now you add potentially Maxx Crosby back to the mix.
There's got to be like some comment on this. It's very rare, but I guess it can be. Trades can break down before they're official, so they can happen.
Dude, that is insane. I'm so interested in it here. I hope they do like JPA Football just tweeted out 13 hours ago. Maxx Crosby was putting on his story, the stadium.
Wow, dude. I don't even know, like. They're going to trade him again, correct? I think people are saying like they have to. How do you think like the Cowboys feel? Because they didn't get him and they traded for Rashawn Gary, and now he's back on the Raiders. Like, and they're like, "Fuck."
Doctor, you know what? It is real. Maxx Crosby, the Raiders or the Ravens backed out of the Maxx Crosby deal. To that point, though, Jeff, you know what actually this does to where if the Raiders do still want to trade Maxx Crosby, whatever happened in that deal is going to lower his price, right? Like a team's going to be like, why did they back out? What's wrong with him? We're not going to give 2 first. So now the deal, the price might go down all of a sudden to where it's a first, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
maybe if you could, would you do 17 and a third? We don't have thirds. Never mind. Okay, take that back. I was gonna say, would you do set or first and a third for him? But we don't have any thirds.
I have so many questions, dude.
I wish they did like a press conference right now. I feel like that's not news you can just drop without an explanation.
Yeah. I mean, that I just have so many questions. I really do. That's nuts, dude. I don't know. Lions fans, I get it. You want to be now. Everyone's like feels like there's a chance again. I don't know. Yeah. I just want to know. I want to know what the Raiders, well, not the Raiders, the Ravens found. I just want to know what was the problem. That's what I want to know. Is it something that's it can't be anything serious. Like Maxx Crosby has this like, degenerative knee issue, right? I mean, there can't be maybe, I don't know. They have to have found something to where they're like, hell no. Or they're just being assholes. I don't know. But why would they just be an asshole to one of the best defensive players in the league? Like they'd want that guy. You know what I mean? If he was healthy,
sure.
It has to be health related.
He did just have surgery. Remember, he had surgery after the season.
Meniscus. He had a meniscus issue.
So maybe it just didn't heal right, and they didn't feel comfortable doing it. You are giving up 2 firsts, so it's a big risk, and you're taking on a contract. But either way, though, you would think before you even agreed to the deal that, imagine being spy tech in Las Vegas and getting that call from what's his name, DaCosta. Imagine DaCosta having to call spy tech and be like, "Hey, we're out. Sorry." I would hate to be on that phone call if I was like an assistant.
I cannot believe that.
Yeah, it is kind of awkward. Like if you're Max, you come back to the Vegas and you walk in that building, you're like, "You guys traded me?" Like, I wanted to stay.
Well, maybe not. He was happy. He seemed like he was pretty happy to go there.
For sure. Yeah, that's fair.
He was pretty fired up. That's why I'm confused. Like,
Jordan Schultz he just quote tweeted. You want to hear this?
What did he say?
Jordan Schultz said, "I got a text from a GM," in quotes. This is what the GM texted him. "Baltimore is going to sign Trey Hendrickson. Watch."
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. But what if they're like, "We'll get this guy and keep our picks"?
That, honestly, if they did that move, league might have to step in and say, "We got to change some rules," because you can't be agreeing to trades and then when you get an opportunity back out like that, especially when teams start to sign guys in free agency.
It might have been a scummy move. It might have been. Yeah, here's the post you're talking about. It might have been a scummy. It might have been.
I like Eric DaCosta, but dude, that's a scumbag move if this is true.
Because imagine they're like, "We'll keep our first and
Trey Hendrickson.
And then because Trey Hendrickson's he might not have as big of a window as like Maxx Crosby. He's a little older, but he could still put up some numbers, man. He could still put up some numbers. There has to be like if you agree upon a trade, right? There has to be it has to be like a reason for it.
You have to prove something.
Yeah, like medicals. Like I don't know. Can you just? I guess you could. I don't know. Just be like, yeah, we're good. Maybe like Nick said, Ravens realized Trey's market dropped. I hope Trey doesn't sign there now and just screw Baltimore over.
I don't want to say Trey Hendrickson would be a scumbag for that, but that would be a tough look on all accounts.
Yeah, he goes to like Buffalo or something and just says, "Yeah, eat shit, dude." It has to be a medical reason. That would be maybe if they sign Trey, maybe it's not even because of like they did it for that, but maybe it is a medical issue and now they're going to pivot to Trey.
Yeah, Diana Rossini just actually tweeted it out. Maxx Crosby did not pass his physical today, per sources. Ravens get their first round picks back.
See, there's had to be a reason. Dude, how
do you not pass your physical?
I don't know what the physical, like what part, what did he not? I mean, yeah, there it is. I don't know. That knee issue might be rough then, man.
No one's going to trade for him, or if someone does, it's going to be like the lowest amount now. Like it's going to be a first round or less.
Is it even worth it then?
That's the question. That's why it's like for the Raiders.
Maybe you just keep him then. I don't know if you're going to trade him for like a first, like first.
I take back my scumbag moves for Eric DaCosta. Eric DaCosta just does his due diligence. Credit.
Maybe it's smart. Maybe it would be. It's just smart for them. They're like, "Oh, he didn't pass his physical. Let's go get a healthy Trey Hendrickson, and then we'll keep our picks." You know, like Joshua said, Raiders trying to slip one past the goalie. It's just like it didn't.
Honestly, it might not even. The Raiders might have thought he was good to go, and then he just gets there and fails. How do you feel your physical, dude? Is that knee that bad?
Shout out Freddie, man. Appreciate the Appreciate the $2. Says Brad will
Shut up,
sign
Freddie,
John
dude.
Jacob Jingle Heimerschmidt, free agent, 1 year
That's
deal.
funny.
We appreciate you, Freddie. I
Shout
didn't
out,
say that. I
Freddie.
appreciate the $2. Just call Doc and ask. Doc's already probably checking right now. He's probably doing his due diligence.
Is the doc live? Is the doc live right now? I guess we did go live during the doc's time at 7 today.
Yeah, we did.
He is live currently. Shout out to Doc. It's his birthday tomorrow too. So
wow, Rap Sheet said it was physical too. So yeah, it is physical. It turns out, yeah, they confirmed it. There's Ravens fans. Yeah, dude. If I'm a Ravens fan, dude, I imagine being a Ravens fan or a fan of it, and you get a player like Maxx, dude, and you've been celebrating the last couple days, and now you just get this dropped on you.
well, yeah, I put yourself in their shoes. What if Brad Holmes traded for Maxx Crosby and we're all freaking out? We do all these videos, we do content for 3 or 4 days about Maxx Crosby, and we would be live right now, and we get an alert saying the Lions backed out of the Maxx Crosby deal.
Well, technically that did happen with Frank Ragnow, but I won't.
With Frank. Yeah, but like, what if that happened with Maxx? Maxx has been like the deal that everyone's been. Should I from our account, just to make people mad? I'll let the chat decide this. Should I tweet out our Maxx Crosby edit again?
Dude, people would just hate you.
I know. I won't do that. We'll get too much hate. People. It would be funny. We won't do it. If I get the go ahead from everyone, I would do it.
Let me see.
Everyone's saying, yeah. Should I do that, Jeff?
Dude, you
Is a troll.
If people would definitely, you'd get your ass probably.
Well, it's not me. I'm going to tweet it from Crunch Time. They're like, so I was going to tweet out. So there's a chance.
Let me see this. Yeah, this is brutal.
Can I get the go ahead from you, Jeff?
I'm not. No, that's you. You're opening that can of worms. That's got to be your decision. You.
See, these are the moments where I hate running social media because I don't know these decisions sometimes.
There's gonna be some people that look at that and be like,
we might get some unfollows for that. we would get some unfollows. Well, I mean, hey, I'm not going to say names. I don't want to get into that. Hold on. We can.
Hey, look what Field Yates just put out.
What do you do? I was about to share my screen.
Field Yates put this out. The Maxx Crosby situation is crazy. There are massive ripple effects from it. The Raiders' free agency approach changed when they traded him. Other teams who wanted Crosby pivoted as well. The draft picks involved, and now the future of Crosby is the biggest question in the NFL. I mean, that's what I was saying with the Cowboys. Like, imagine they went and got Rashawn Gary because they were like, we're not, it is what it is.
Who's the only team
involved in the Maxx Crosby sweepstakes?
Who is the only team in the NFL that hasn't gotten who hasn't gotten any edge rusher yet in free agency?
The Ravens.
No, not the Ravens.
No. Oh, the Lions. Say that.
People keep saying do it.
No, you guys don't, man. Twitter's is a rough place. Yeah, this is brutal. That sucks, man.
Is this bad? Can you see my screen?
Let me see. No, because they're going to be like, dumbass, he failed his physical.
This is a bad tweet.
That's a bad tweet. That's a bad tweet, dude. That's good. That's a bad tweet. That's a bad tweet. That's like a cringe. Like, people are gonna cook your ass tweet. That's just guy just failed his physical because of a knee, and now we're trying to get him. Appreciate the $2. Nobody. Brad can see the future. Yeah, well, it's tough.
6th-round pick.
I won't send it.
Flyer on him.
Yeah, I won't send it. I'll keep it in the drafts. That'll get added to my Ward Manuel fired.
I cannot believe that. I honestly, like, I don't even know what to say. That is one of the most craziest things I've seen, honestly, during free agency. For a player that big. I'm trying to look. I don't even remember the last time a big trade like this failed. Really?
Yeah, I don't think anything like this has ever happened. Ari Meirov just put no signings are official until tomorrow. So with Maxx Crosby back on the Raiders, there are players who have agreed to sign with the Raiders, and they spent a lot in free agency where we have no clue how this unfolds. So just like with Field Yates, like maybe there's players that we're going to sign with the Raiders that back out, and maybe the Raiders have to back out of some deals, which opens up other guys' availability. Like, they just spent basically Maxx Crosby's money on Tyler Linderbaum. So, like, does he still get $28 million? Do they back out of that deal? I think there's a lot of questions on that.
I think it'll probably be like Quiddy paying one of those linebackers.
Potentially, yeah. They still have, like Matt said there, they do still have a lot of money. After yesterday, they still had like some of the most money in the NFL. But it does make it a little tougher. You still want to be able to have a gap.
Yeah, the medical reasons, man. It has to be the knee. Has to be that knee injury, man. Is there anybody else? Is there anybody in free agency that is on your wish list as of right now? It's still available, or any positions that you think the Lions are going to target next? I know Trey Hendrickson we talked about, but I don't know what position they fill next. But I have some. Listen, defensive end seems to be one we keep talking about. I think that. Oh yeah, I just saw, by the way, another tweet from Maxx Crosby.
He just tweeted.
No, it's a story that you showed, the Kodak Black song, and it's the Baltimore, and it's like the stadium. That's brutal.
I would love to see like some Ravens fans right now. Do you know Stavros, the comedian? Stavi? No. He's in Tires. If you saw him, you probably be like, oh, I know who he is. He's a big Ravens fan, and he's probably like one of their biggest ones. He always does videos and stuff for them. But when they lose and stuff, he does like the funniest. You know Stavi. I would love to. Stavros, here, let me see if I can just find a video so you can just I would love to just be in, like, see where he's at with this.
Evans, appreciate the $2. He says, "Go get Iffy back." Yeah, this
is Stavros.
Who the?
How the fuck did this happen?
What?
Hold on, you don't know Stavros?
No.
Fucking win. Taller Lip, you motherfucker, Taller Lip. I'm gonna get Taller Lip to a fucking massage parlor right now, yo. Go get that motherfucker a massage. I want him off the team.
Oh my god.
That's the win. Fucking Aaron Rodgers, you're fucking old. How did you beat us like that, yo? Aren't you supposed to be in a dark room trying to convince yourself you're not gay? Lamar fucking did it, yo. The NFL is fucking rigged. If you have any honor, you will replay the second half with Kyle Hamilton. Okay, give us a week for him to recharge his injuries and replay the second half. Fuck.
This guy looks like he stares through bedroom windows at night, dude. Who's that
bro,
guy?
You don't know Stabby, bro? He's so funny. He's like friends with Shane Gillis. He's on the Tires show. He's like has a main role in that show.
I can see why, dude.
He's hilarious. He's like one of the biggest Ravens fans. He like goes to the games and they like have him come on the field and stuff. He does like post game videos.
Is he allowed within like 100 feet of a school or?
Oh, dude, it's Stavros, dude. Dude, I can't believe you're doo-dooing on Stavros. Come on, he's a legend.
No, shout out to him.
Is he allowed within 100 feet of a school? That's crazy.
Yeah, no, you know. Hey, by the way, these are the free agent edges that are available right now. These are all the guys that are still available. For all the people that are wondering, you have Trey Hendrickson, Hassan Reddick, Joey Bosa, Leonard Floyd, Danico Autry. Now we're getting into like the lower guys here. I'll sort it by AAV.
Here we go. Joey Bosa. You got Kavan, Arnold, Ebikidi, Arnold Ebikidi, Leonard Floyd, AQM's on here still.
AQM's high up there.
Cam Jordan, AJ Epinesa, Von Miller, Jadeveon Clowney. These are kind of probably it.
Ooh, let's do this, Jeff. I want to do this with you. Give me your top 3, because and obviously like the Trey Hendrickson thing is so far off. Like his market value is 25. Like, but just give me your top 3 of like realistic opportunity. Like, because I'll do mine. I think returning AQM, I don't hate it. Like if it's last case scenario and they bring him back, I'm not going to be like mad. I would like someone. I think at that point you draft someone, but then I would go like Cam Jordan, Joey Bosa. Maybe I would throw in AJ Epinesa, but he's always injured, dude. It feels like.
Yeah, and he can't really play the run either, I don't think. I think my top 3 on here is Jadeveon Clowney, Joey Bosa, and Cam Jordan.
Cam's over Joey?
No, just those 3. I mean, no order. I would say I like Joey Bosa. I would probably put him over Cam just by age, and he has the potential and everything. I like Cam. He's always healthy, so I like that too. And he's still produced. But yeah, maybe Joey over him because he's 30. But no order, those 3. Clowney, Jordan, and Bosa, besides obviously Trey Hendrickson. And then everyone else would be kind of meh, like AJ Epinesa, Leonard Floyd, Kavan Chasen. Those guys are kind of like whatever. But you can get any of those guys at a pretty decent price, to be honest. So those 3 would be mine. Hassan Reddick's on here too. He's 31. He wouldn't be a bad little 1-year flyer either. I don't know what he's really done, but I don't think he'd be your starter. But as like a guy who comes in and can maybe contribute. He hasn't really done much the last 2 years, but with the Eagles, he was really good. Maybe with Hutch, he could get rejuvenated a little bit. I don't mind.
You think so?
Maybe Hassan Reddick is like a sneaky little 4th option.
Yeah, the Hassan one always kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah, no, I remember when he wanted a lot of money, but he's at a different point in his career right now. But there's some, you could probably get 2 of these guys, honestly. Yeah, I think they'll get one of these lower end guys, and then they'll get a higher guy. Maybe like a Joey Bosa. Would they pay $13 million for Joey Bosa though?
I think so. You're letting all these other guys again. I think it's one of those things where it's like you're letting all these other guys walk. Obviously, like if you're going to let these other guys walk because you don't want to pay all this money, the money's got to go somewhere.
Oh, by the way, I did not read this. I'm sorry about this. Matt, thank you for the $5. Said the best part is Grossi just did his Raiders Ravens offseason skit 2 hours ago. That's awesome. Hilarious. Appreciate the 5, Matt. But shout out Tom Grossi.
Oh, Maxx Crosby's profile picture right now is him in a Ravens uni too.
That's so awkward. I mean, I can't get over just how awkward that is. I don't even know what you do. Honestly, I don't even know.
So I had a bet that was I had put a bet in for the Lions to trade for Maxx Crosby, and it went as a loss. It was a loss. Does it get back? Do I get the bet back? So it gets replaced?
You should get it didn't end up happening. So you should get.
Go see. Let me go see if it's still open. Yeah, it's not. Oh no, they opened it back up. It's open again.
Who's the favorite?
I don't know. I just have Lions at plus 2,000. I don't know if they put it back on the market. I don't think they did. I still have the Lions at plus 2,000 now.
Yeah, look at this. If the price for Crosby goes down, Matt said it could end up being the best trade in NFL history for some team.
Yeah, but it's a massive risk all of a sudden.
Yeah, it just depends how serious the knee injury is, honestly. If that knee injury is as bad as is being reported, I don't know. I don't. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, he's moving around. He had surgery. He's going to be good by training camp. Like, what was the scare? I don't know. That part is still like confusing. Like, how bad was it, dude? Like, he tore his meniscus. He didn't like break his leg and tear his ACL and MCL and blow out his knee. But
honestly, it could have just been one of those things where he wasn't fully healed yet and he's going to be good by the season. But maybe the Ravens got cold feet and they used the excuse of failed physical to get out of it. Because the Raiders, like, I saw someone tweeted out, I don't remember who it was. I did see someone tweet it out and just was like, hey, it is kind of weird that the Raiders tweeted that out like they were mad about it. Like they were mad with the Ravens about it. So I wonder if there was a thing where, yeah, he did fail his physical, but it was like, hey, they knew that he had his knee issue and they got cold feet and they used the excuse of that to back out.
It says right, Baltimore had serious long-term concerns surrounding Crosby's knee, which made them have second thoughts. So I don't know.
I think it just what ends up happening. Like, I don't know. Can he go back to the Raiders? Like, are the Raiders going to take him back, or are they going to be like, at this point, we're just desperate. We'll take whatever we can for him, because they did pay all these people and they have all this contract stuff now.
I don't know. I don't know the Raiders cap situation.
I'm going to put out a tweet.
The Lockdown Ravens said they just did not want to take a chance on his knee. Crosby wanted to play end of season. Raiders would not allow. He is ready to roll. Yeah, he did. Remember, they did tell him to sit, and he was mad. So it's like he was able to play. They told him not to play. I don't know. Appreciate the $10 in St. Lions fan. He says, or they say, Maxx Crosby failed the medical because his lungs are listed as fourth quarter pass rush only. Here's the thing about that, though. Maxx Crosby was on the Raiders. They were always down in the fourth quarter. So teams were running the ball on him in the fourth quarter. So he really didn't have a lot of opportunities to get after the passer in the fourth quarter. If he played for a team that had leads in the fourth quarter, he would probably have more sacks. I know, like, I'm just saying. So I think to do what he did with the Raiders, given they were always down in games, is kind of.
If his lungs were listed as fourth quarter only, and he's that out of shape, I mean, he's like publicly like smoking cigars.
No, it's joking. They're joking about that. They're joking. Yeah, it's like, his lungs only working.
I was like dead serious in my mind. I was like, hey, did you see my? All right, I just put a tweet out on my personal one. I tweeted out.
He smokes.
Oh my God, bro. I just put a tweet out. Brad Holmes does love injured players.
Well, give him a chance.
I put in parentheses, so this is a joke, by the way.
DMP Brad is more likely to trade for him now that he has an injury.
Yeah, like he's like, oh wait, Max filled his physical. Can we get this guy? When can we get him in Allen Park? Like, that's all we were waiting for.
Yeah, I cannot. And I saw this too. This is crazy. I think some shit's about to happen, by the way. Peter Bukowski said the Cowboys could end up backing out of the Gary deal to get Crosby, which would be doubly wild. Doubly wild. Technically, the Gary trade hasn't happened yet either. They could still back, like, this could start like a butterfly effect. Like, maybe like they back out and then the Cowboys back out to try and get back. Like, this could start like this, like
huge domino effect.
Yeah, domino effect of just like, yep, I'm out.
But at the end of the day, like, if you have just got Rashawn Gary, are you that, like, for what did they give up, like a 6th-round pick? I would just take Rashawn Gary over Maxx Crosby if Max is like actually hurt and failing the physical for 2 firsts. At that point, it's like, I guess we just roll with what we got.
Yeah. Rashawn Gary,
I think it is a little concerning, man.
That's crazy. Right before tomorrow. Sean says, wouldn't the Ravens assume he would need more recovery time to pass a physical? This doesn't make any sense. I mean, I think he would still pass the physical if he has the surgery, but it's going if it looks good. I think it would be like, I don't know, but it is a meniscus. How bad was it? That's what it has to be really bad then. Like, this meniscus must be terrible. Because if it's a meniscus, like we see guys tweak their meniscus, tear their meniscus, come back and be fine all the time. They got the best doctors in the world. I mean, I don't understand. It's not like, again, the guy didn't tear his ACL, MCL, and everything. Meniscus, like he didn't tear everything and his knees blown out like Nick Chubb or something. It's literally a meniscus. He played through it.
He wanted to keep playing is the biggest thing. Yeah, Tom Pelisero. There's a video here. I don't think we're allowed to play the video from NFL Network.
No, I think we can from NFL Network. I think we're good. I've played a lot of NFL Network videos.
Do you want to play the Tom Pelisero one?
Yeah,
he tweeted it out 8 minutes ago.
Yep,
it's about 2 minutes. It's 2.5 minutes of him breaking it down. But he also Tom Pelisero was the one that brought up them backing out the Cowboys still in play and backing out the Rashawn Gary deal. He talks about it here at the end.
Let's take a listen.
In this, the news that the Maxx Crosby blockbuster trade is off has sent shockwaves through the league.
Is this like the Avengers, by the way?
On the phone, which is why I'm late.
Can you pause it real quick?
People around the league all trying to get answers.
I just want people to know, I found this out at the Combine. Tom Pelisero has a mullet.
Okay.
From this angle, it does not look like it. I talked to him at the Combine. He walked by us, talked to him for a couple minutes. I was shocked when he turned his head and it's a mullet. And I'm like, wait a second. Tommy P's rocking a mullet?
Okay. This guy stops the video to tell.
I didn't know, dude. Look at I only ever get to see him like this. And he kept walking up to me. I said, dude, are you following me? And he looked at me and he goes, and I was like, the mullet's staring at me, dude. Like, it's hard to miss, man. Come on, Tommy.
He's got a great mullet.
Oh, dude, I was shocked.
What transpired here and the ripple effects this has across other moves that have been made. Tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars spent by various teams across the league. Trades that have been executed in part because there's a domino effect that starts with the biggest domino. That was Maxx Crosby. There are teams that are going to be interested still in a Maxx Crosby trade, but there are a lot of things that they need to get answers on, starting with the medical. I would specifically say the other team that was in it at the end, as we've reported, is the Dallas Cowboys. I am told the Dallas Cowboys would still be interested in a Maxx Crosby trade. If indeed it is medical, which is what the indications are right here, then to your point, there are 32 different teams with 32 doctors and 32 degrees of risk tolerance. Right. If a player fails a physical with one team, it does not necessarily mean he's going to fail that physical with another team. But think about the fact that the Cowboys have already pivoted and agreed to a trade for Rashawn Gary with the Green Bay Packers for a 4th-round pick. If you start unwinding these other moves, which there is no indication Dallas would want to do that, you're creating all kinds of questions across the NFL.
Which, by the way, real quick, that doctor with the Ravens better be fucking certain, dude. Because if someone else, if he goes to the Cowboys and has like a 10-year career and plays well, that doctor's going to look like a jackass.
Again, what I said 5 minutes ago, I think there's a chance maybe the Ravens got cold feet and even Eric DeCosta maybe was like, hey, like if there's anything, just let us know because we kind of want out of this deal now after we lost Linderbaum and this all like maybe there's
because that guy would be a giant. Like Ravens fans would haunt that man if anyway. But anyway, let's keep watching.
This cannot be overstated. We have not, in my more than 2 decades covering the NFL, seen a bigger trade called off for any reason. Maxx Crosby is not going to be, as of now, a Baltimore Raven. Maxx Crosby, for the moment, is once again a member of the Las Vegas Raiders. There were so many different factors, including Maxx Crosby's frustration, including the way the Raiders wanted to approach this rebuild, that led to them agreeing to trade Maxx Crosby for 2 first-round picks to the Ravens, a price that no other team was willing to pay. You have to wonder if now they once again explore trades for Maxx Crosby, if the price has to change based upon the unique circumstances that are playing out less than 24 hours away from when trades can become official at the start of the league year. The Maxx Crosby trade is off. The Ravens, according to the Raiders, have backed out on the trade. This is going to send ripple effects across the entire NFL landscape.
I mean, this guy's just spitting everywhere. I don't know if you saw that either.
Who was?
Tom Pelisero.
Was he actually?
I just see spit flying. You can tell he's intense right now, dude. He's fired up.
I did not see that. That's hilarious, though.
No, but that's to what he said though. Every doctor is different. You know, like the Cowboys might be like, "Hey, man, that knee ain't that bad." I don't know what they're talking about.
I mean, hey, if the Lions doctor got him, look what they did with Kirby. They just didn't see anything in Kirby's knee. Yeah, they would put Maxx Crosby through with nothing. He's good to go.
This guy looks good to me, man.
Hey, at the end of the day, whatever the doctor and the Ravens, we need him when we sign deals because we need to make sure our guys are good.
We have Stevie Wonder as our team doctor. I mean, the guy can't see a damn thing over here, dude. They need that Ravens.
He gets the X-rays and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, good. We're good.
No, he looks good.
Good.
Looks good to me, man."
Guy has like a broken fibula. He's like, "No, he looks good, man. Throw him out there. He's good to go." There's nothing there.
Yeah, he looked good to me. I don't know, man. That's
wow. This is crazy, though. This might be some of the biggest NFL news I've ever had in my life, and I know we've had some big ones, but I've just never this was 2 first-round picks for a trade. That in itself is a massive trade. But the fact all of a sudden it gets back I've just never seen this in any. I don't know. I don't remember any massive trade at this magnitude at any professional National Basketball League, NHL, MLB. I've never seen that.
The one that comes to mind for me, and it's a while ago, is Chris Paul to the Lakers, and it got vetoed.
Vetoed by the commish, but that was a big one.
That was I mean, there's not too many moments where this shit happens. I mean,
it's a huge deal because, again, I think that with Tom Pelisero, spot on, the ripple effect, because if Rashawn Gary does, the trade gets blocked, right? They end that trade and they try and trade for Maxx Crosby. Then where does Rashawn Gary go? Does he go back to the Packers? Then does that change different things for the now the Raiders have to change things. The Ravens now all of a sudden in the Trey Hendrickson sweepstakes, just like that overnight. And I wonder, there was corresponding reports today over the last hour. Diana Rossini tweets out less than an hour ago, Trey Hendrickson's going to make his decision tomorrow. And then within a couple minutes, you get the report that Maxx Crosby's no longer going to the Ravens. And it's like, hey, whoa, does that correspond together? All of a sudden, Trey Hendrickson's like, I'm ready to make my decision. At the same time, Maxx Crosby's deal, the deal gets canceled. It's an interesting. The league, I'll say this too, Jeff. They need to figure out their league timing on stuff too, because it is the tampering period. And I know if you move the free agency up to the Monday, then the tampering period ends up going back to Saturday and Sunday. So no matter what, it's always going to move. But man, they need to make it to where if a trade it happens, it can go through like that. You can't be 2 days into free agency and a trade gets vetoed. You have to know before. You have to.
Yeah, that's a good point. They should have all these medical tests and everything before all this shit happens, because this is a big ripple effect in the NFL. I mean, the Ravens, 48 hours ago, they thought they just landed one of the bigger trades of their franchise history. And now they're like, well, that's it.
How about this too? Look at these deals that they did. 81 million, 48 million, 40 million, 36 million, 35, 30, 11.
Yeah, they gave fuck.
Who do you back out of if you're them and you
I'm getting if they can't, the
AAV, the annual average, you need 30 for Max, right? He's 28 a year.
I want to know. So they're under the cap. So they need to free up money.
I don't know the full.
I would do everyone besides Linderbaum. Not everyone, but anyone else. You keep Linderbaum obviously, but everyone else you figure out. I mean, you try and maybe you do if you got to get rid of one of the linebackers and like Jalen Naylor, go ahead and do it. Or maybe because I think Kwity Paye and Max would be really good together. That'd be a nice duo. But I don't see how you can. I don't know. I want to know what their cap space is right now. It says they have a lot of cap still, but people are talking about what deals they got to back out of. So it's like, I don't know. If that's there's I don't know. I don't. Do you think they even stays with the Raiders? Nick just said I have no chance the Raiders keep him.
I don't know, but if the price drops as much as it does, I mean, you probably want to keep him, right? You want to get the value for him.
Yeah, now Dallas is interested. Like Dallas is going to give him whatever they have first round picks. They could give him one of their first round. They could get one of the Dallas Cowboys first round picks. Or I think they have they have two. They have two. They can land one of those. So Cowboys, I think he goes to the Cowboys. I think that's where he's gonna end up going. He's gonna end up going to the Cowboys, and they're probably gonna give them a first round pick and maybe like a second round pick. Maybe like it'll be a little less than what they originally gave up, but that'll probably be the case. And they'll land Maxx Crosby, and maybe they back out of the Rashawn Gary trade, and then the Packers are probably gonna have to cut him. Because the Packers were going to cut him, I believe. So you're talking Max to the Dallas Cowboys, Rashawn Gary back to the Packers, and then they end up cutting him. That's probably what's going to happen in the next 48 hours, 24 hours. So I don't think, and I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think the Lions will give up their first round pick. So
no, I don't think so as well. I wonder if this deal, if with the physical situation, if it ends up turning out to where they get less than even a first, because they no longer. I mean, at the end of the day, with what just happened and everything, the way it transpired, and I think this might be one of the reasons the Raiders are so mad. If your player, especially at that level, fails his physical, you don't have leverage. And you could be like, well, you have a little, he's Maxx Crosby. You have zero leverage going forward. None. The Raiders could call tomorrow. The Raiders could call tomorrow. What? Did something just happen?
No, go on. Sorry.
I would say the Raiders could call tomorrow to the Cowboys and be like, hey, will you give us a first for him? Cowboys, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones that we've seen a million. You'd just be like, hang up the phone and be like, we'll give you our second.
And then they
first.
they lose.
And then they get into a battle to where they're like, we're not giving you our first anymore. He just failed the physical. What are you talking about? This is one of our biggest risks all of a sudden. And look at his contract. You want us to take that contract on for a guy that just failed the physical? Good one.
You think the Raiders maybe know his knee is not good? Maybe
potentially.
They're cool.
Maxx Crosby is like, I bleed black and silver. I'm all Raiders. And what if the Raiders went to him was like, hey, dude, we know, like they both are like, yeah, we know my knee's messed up. We could win a Super Bowl. We could build the same, like we can't get any more out of you. And Max is like, get some assets for me. That's like my last goodbye to the Raiders. Like, get some assets for me. Like, I know my knees, I'm almost done. And Max was a part of this and was like, yeah, I got this. He like did everything. Well, that would be okay. Conspiracy theory. I'll stop.
You know what's messed up? The fans have to endure this. Look at this tweet. Field Yates just retweeted. This is Nate. He's a Ravens fan. Look at, if the Ravens happen to trade for Maxx Crosby, I will completely shave my head.
Oh no! Oh no,
dude! I feel bad for bro, dude.
Oh, not dude. Nate.
Dude,
I gotta go find him. Oh no, man,
dude.
No, Nate. No, Nate.
Dude. Oh no, dude.
Oh, that's a disaster.
My
Lord.
It better be AI, man. That hairline looks fucking, it better be. Welcome to Baltimore.
Bro, what is this hairline? He commented on himself, and he commented and added old takes. This might be one of the greatest old takes exposed tweet of all time. Yeah, that might be one of the greatest ones ever.
Oh, dude.
When did he tweet that out, by the way, that he shaved it? What time? Oh, my gosh. That was he just got it done today. He just went an hour ago and the comment said he couldn't have. Oh, they couldn't have announced this an hour earlier.
Shout out RJ. He's a Lions fan, I think. Yeah,
bro. What if he was like in the chair getting like the barber, and like half of his hair is like bald, and the barber was like, "Oh my gosh, you'll never guess what just happened."
Dude, like I don't
got canceled.
I don't think I'd even tell him. I think it would just be so heartbreaking.
I think you got to shave the rest of it off and then tell him. Wow, dude, that's one of the funniest I think tweets of all time.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude. I feel for this guy. Some of his tweets are so funny.
I mean, that man, I don't know what's funnier, the hairline.
He commented and said, I needed a haircut anyways. He was no way. He said, I'm bald now and Maxx Crosby isn't a Raider or a Raven.
Oh, dude. Oh, man.
Oh,
I gotta
feel,
dude. I gotta just feel. I gotta feel for I just gotta feel for those people, man. I really do. That's just like, I mean, that's like Michigan. You know how it's like. Honestly, I can't imagine. I shaved my head because of a specific scenario. If it got reversed, I would be devastated, dude.
Yours couldn't get. I couldn't get reversed. I guess. What? Yeah, I don't even know
like
how
Michigan losing to TCU. Imagine like. It was like after they're like, no, Michigan actually won the game technically.
You're bald.
Yeah, I'm fucking bald.
He went skin bald though.
Yeah,
he like he didn't even just go like you just went.
No,
down,
yeah,
like,
he went skin.
Still
bald.
had hair. He was like he told the barber like, hey, after can you just go straight like just straight blade, please?
People are saying Rashawn Gary to Detroit.
No, I mean, would you give up the? What did they give up? A 6th-round pick?
He's got like 2 years left on his contract. I looked into it. It's about $28 million a year. It's hefty. It's a hefty deal. Now, if he gets released, maybe he gets released.
Yeah.
Maybe you could be one of those guys, but
I did have a thought today with Brad Holmes. I don't know if you thought this at all. I went back and counted all of the draft picks that the Lions had each year since Brad's drafted, and he usually only drafts 7 or 8 guys. He doesn't go into like 9 or 10. I think you have like 10 picks right now, I think it is total. So I do think there's going to be move ups, and they're going to trade some of this capital away, whether it's for a player already in the NFL or if it's to move up to, get someone. So I think that stuff's on the table. Obviously, the money with the Rashawn Gary, but just the fact that I think they gave up a 6th or 7th round pick, you have a handful of them. And if that's kind of, if something ends up happening and you're like, what if Brad did put a $25 million offer on the table for Trey Hendrickson? Or what if Brad did offer a 1st and a player for Maxx and he was being aggressive? Hey, if you're him and you couldn't get either one of those and you're willing to spend a little bit more money over the next 2 years, because those deals, the Jameer and Jax, Jeff, they don't really kick in for a year or two. Maybe you can be like, hey, we'll give you a 6th-round pick for Rashawn Gary. We didn't know that was it. Now, will the Packers do it in division? Maybe not, but just a thought.
I just saw this tweet by Jesse Morris, who we actually had on to talk about Hutch's injury. He's actually a pretty big doctor in this like sports scene. He said, sounds like the knee injury, possibly others, was much worse than the Ravens and the Raiders initially let on. The new team would have to see the full medicals and likely do an evaluation / new MRI on Crosby's knee before deciding if it's worth the risk. Wouldn't be surprised if Dr. Dan Cooper is the physician asked. He's one of the top knee surgeons in the U.S. and just so happens to be the team doctor of the Dallas Cowboys. So the Dallas Cowboys team doctor is one of the top knee guys in the entire country. So imagine if that dude approves him. Like, then
Wow.
it's like, which I don't know. Dr. Dan Cooper. Yeah, I don't know. And so if he becomes a Cowboy and they basically say, yeah, it's on, then I don't know who this team doctor is for the Ravens. I don't know. Now you got Bears fans, by the way, talking about trading for Maxx Crosby too. Just don't come to the division. We don't need that. The conference I don't want either, but Jane Slater of the NFL also just put this out about the Maxx Crosby stuff. She said, for those wondering how this Max news impacts the Raiders and the free agent linebackers like Nakobe Dean, I was just told it shouldn't. If anything, it will strengthen the pass rush. So no, I don't think it'll affect some of those guys they signed, honestly. I don't think so. At least the linebackers, some of those guys it won't. But maybe Kwity Paye. But yeah.
At least the Raiders still have their first round picks now, huh?
And that's if they don't flip them or try and get them out in the next day or two.
Oh wait, no, they don't. I'm sorry. Some reason I thought they were getting the Raven. I'm an idiot. Yeah, don't listen to me. But they still have their maybe they get a first still. Shout out Xavier D. He said Rocky Sin resign. I thought there was a new deal. It's like, wait a sec.
Rocky Sin news is bigger than this, man.
I cannot believe that. That's so. This is taking over the show. This is supposed to be a Lions free agency show, and it's turned into a Maxx Crosby show.
Damn.
Shocking, huh?
I can't believe that. Oh, this is nuts. What a night, dude. I mean, we had Rocky. Who would have thought that Rocky Sin, Malcolm Rodriguez, Teddy Bridgewater would get jumped by Maxx Crosby. He kind of saved the night, though, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Saved the night.
It did cover up the fact that the Lions did finally get a quarterback, too. Today, they got an RB2, and they brought up a depth. They got a depth cornerback. So, not a cornerback, but a corner back in the room.
They got a corner.
You know what I'm saying? He's back.
In the room,
back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm still pumped up about that. I know people. It's again, like you said, it's half and half. I'm still fired up about the Isiah Pacheco thing. I think just for like the role that you were looking for, I think he's just perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting. Tim said 1 year, 4. That's Rocky Sin's deal, I believe, right? He was $4 million.
1 for 4. Yeah.
I'm so interested in this Isiah Pacheco deal. I'm very interested in that.
Yeah, I would guess I would say 1 for 3.5.
You think 3.5 is the number? I think it's 3 to 4. I think that's a fair price.
I'll go $3.5 million 1 year.
What would be the number like if you're like saying like tell me when to stop when it gets too high? Are you ready? 3.5, 3.75, 4, 4.25, 4.25. I think 4.5 I would be fine with. But anything like if it's at 5, I'm gonna be like, oh no, dude, what are we doing?
Yeah. About 4 and some change. That's about the max. Because then it's like that's what he is.
No Crosby.
You say Bill? What'd you just say?
You said that's the max. I said no Crosby.
Oh, I think you said Bill Cosby. I don't even.
No. We are not a Bill Cosby show here.
No, yeah, no.
That's not good.
Yeah, I think 3.5. Yeah, like Tim said, 3.5 baseline is about a prove-it deal. Running back 2. So.
If it gets to 4.5, it's like whatever. I'm not going to pound my fist and be mad at that. But if it gets to 5, then I'm going to okay, come on now.
Yeah, now we're talking $1 million less than the 1,000-yard rushers. You know what I mean?
Now we're talking D-Mon numbers where that's not the expectation for him.
I think D-Mon got a pay increase.
I don't think he did yet. No, they did not yet. I saw people putting that in the chat. I think I was watching you earlier when people were putting that in the chat. I think people were saying the Texans probably will give him an extension or a pay increase.
Yeah,
I don't think that was a fit like they did.
If you're him, you're like, I'm about to get Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I wonder if they will give him an increase. Maybe not. Let's play out his contract, but yeah, I saw the Texans are expected to adjust the contract to Dave Montgomery on some like Houston Rockets page or Rockets Texans page. Aaron Wilson actually put that out.
Oh, Aaron. Okay, then I trust Aaron.
To adjust the I don't know what adjust means. Adjust meaning like
probably like add a year, add some different things, incentives, different things.
It doesn't say raise or anything. It just says adjust. So
did you see Aaron Wilson's tweet on it?
No.
I'm gonna go look it up. He usually puts details in it. Shout out Aaron Wilson, man. Really, really good dude.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm trying to look here to see if he's.
By the way, Michael Silver at The Athletic brought up, and we were talking about this earlier, that he does a lot of insider stuff. He said this could be a case where the Ravens were scared away by Crosby's knee, but it also could be buyer's remorse. That's what he's saying too. He's like, it could be equal to what you're saying, where it's like knee injury, like failed physical just to get it reversed. I maybe, I don't know, maybe they with the Trey Hendrickson stuff. I'm curious to see how that kind of unfolds, because if he gets approved by another team, I don't know.
It turns into, again, like Tom Pelisero said, you can go to a different team and you can pass a physical, and on another team you don't. It's up to the team doctors at that point. So it's up in the air. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, like the Lions with the Kirby Joseph stuff, might push things through and still pay you.
And Adam Schefter also put out that the Ravens have done this in the past, not with it big of players, but the Ravens have been very skeptical with, like, if a player does not pass physical, they just get rid of them. They're like very thorough and very cautious with physicals. I wonder if the owner of the Ravens called the doctor personally and was like, you absolutely sure? You absolutely sure this knee is fucked up? Because
what's his name? Spytex, like he flies out of the Baltimore. Like, I want to speak to that doctor right now.
Yeah. Are we sure? I mean, come on. Ryan Croft just said Mahomes has more rushing yards. Guy's broken. Talking about Isiah Pacheco. Sounds like it's Klotz's like burner, I think, in there.
Yeah, it probably is.
Hey, good stuff. So today, you know what? Another day of I streamed today. We went 4 hours. Malcolm Rodriguez, Isiah Pacheco, and Leaf going to the Bears. Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, we haven't even talked about that because the Maxx Crosby stuff. Are we mad about that? Or are we like, it's the Bears? I don't know. You like the Bears. So I'm asking the fans, not you. I'm asking the fans.
I think you probably could have given him a couple million to be a really good returner for you.
I'm more so saying for Khalif, like going to the Bears seems crazy. Like it's the same thing with Ben, where people are like, dude, which again, I was on the side of, hey, it's the best opportunity for him. We can hate him because he did go to the Bears, but I don't hate his decision. I hate him now because of it. Is that like dude, you went to one of our rivals.
Yeah, but I think it's different for a player because Leaf doesn't have a big market like that. Like he's just trying to get paid. Ben had the choice. Ben chose, and he had a lot of offers, the hottest candidate in the league, and he went to the Bears. I think Leaf's just trying to scrap up a deal. I kind of feel bad for him. He's just trying to get paid somewhere.
I do. Honestly, one of my favorite like Lions of all time, I will say Khalif Raymond, because he's just such a good dude. Like he's not like he's like just one of those selfless players, dude, which I love, man. By the way, too, when the Isiah Pacheco, I don't know if you noticed this, side note on everything, the Isiah Pacheco news dropped today. I put out 3 different tweets, breaking news, Isiah Pacheco, and I thought I was deleting them all and putting new ones up. And for an hour and a half, we had 3 breaking news Isiah Pacheco tweets out. Boom, boom, boom. I spelt his name wrong. I thought there was 2 A's. Isaiah. And I did it 3 times. And I finally got it right the last time. And I accidentally left all of them up.
It happens, brother. Good stuff today, man. Appreciate
Trying
you
to
all.
learn, dude.
Hey, it's all you can do. You know what I mean? It's all you can
You
do.
know?
We had over 400 people in here. We appreciate you all. Hit the like button on the way out.
Hey, Tim, come on, dude. Put some respect on my name. I'm a good social media manager.
By the way, Dio, two things I want to address. Dio, Joe Burrow paid the doctor in Baltimore. Appreciate the $2. Steven, would the Raiders want Maxx back and Bridge burned? I don't know. I don't think so. Probably trade him, Steven, to be honest with you again. And I'll cover it tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. Appreciate the super chats.
Another big day tomorrow.
Likes. Big day tomorrow. Everything gets
Trey
official.
Hendrickson.
But until then, we will catch you all. Peace.